First, excited to be playing this week. It's a tribute to our players and staff for the focus and hard work that they put in from the time we started this journey in January to right now, being able to block out all the distractions and noise and to focus on being 1-0 each week and buying into the message. Excited for both our fans and our alumni. I want to say thank you to our administration and leadership for providing us with this opportunity by investing in our team consistently throughout the season. And we need our fans and our alumni to show up and make this a true home field advantage for Saturday. We worked extremely hard to get home field advantage, and we need our fans to be loud and prove that to be hopefully the difference in this game. Congrats to Lafayette and Coach Napier, or Louisiana and Coach Napier on a tremendous season. They've played an outstanding season to be 10 wins, to play the way that they have. It's a credit to his coaching staff and his team. And it's going to be a tremendous battle Saturday of two good football teams, and we're excited about the opportunity to play. And so with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Eli, obviously, some of the big news of last week was the loss of Corey Sutton, and you guys came out. Obviously, you saw some things that made you feel like the passing game was going to be a great opportunity Saturday, and the receiver group capitalized on that. Just talk in general about the performance of that group on Saturday and how you feel they were successful.
Well, you never get to replace a player the caliber of Corey Sutton. But what you try to do is spread out the opportunities to the rest of the team and see if other people can step up. And so that's what happened. Obviously, I thought Zach played a tremendous game. We felt like we had some matchups and could create some matchups in the secondary. And we were very efficient on third down. Some people stepped up and made some plays. So, yes, I think our guys stepped up, did what they needed to do, created separation, and then our quarterback was able to find them.
And talking about Louisiana, obviously they haven't lost since you guys beat them in October. Mm-hmm. They are still what they were then. They play the way they play. Their persona is the same. Yeah. Clearly they've had some success in what they've been doing on the field. As you guys have scouted them and looked at them from then until now, is it simply excellence of execution? Are they doing anything different? How would you define what's led to that 6-game winning streak?
I think they still do what they've always done, which is establish the run game, do a nice job with play action, take vertical shots down the field, control the tempo with their offense. Defensively, they rally to the ball, create extra fitter in the run game by reduction, whether it's moving to a bare front, moving to a 4-down front, causing confusion. They're not the same team we've played. I think they've improved tremendously since the first time we've played. I think to assume that the game will be similar in nature to the one we played previously would be a false narrative going into the game. I think both teams have, changed, whether it's due to injuries or whatever the season's brought about. So I think their coaching staff's done an excellent job of pushing their team towards what their strengths are, and I think we've been able to do the same thing.
One of the things that has been a little bit different, especially the last month for them, is Levi Lewis has thrown for 270 yards or more in 3 of their last 4 games. So clearly his role has seemed to accelerate as the season has gone on. As you've gone in, and I know you always do a little bit of quarterback scouting for the defense as well, what are the things he's doing at this stage of the season that maybe are different from earlier on?
Well, I think teams have committed more to stopping the run. I think they felt like the success we were able to have stopping the run was the way to defeat the team, and which has allowed for more one-on-one opportunities. They got some big wide receivers that create tough matchups. They've been making some tremendous catches. The quarterback's also been able to extend plays with his feet and then being able to find wide receivers down the field. So they're playing at a high level offensively right now.
Eli, just as far as team health-wise, how are guys like Colin and Ryan Huff, and how did Datrick look to you in that first extended playing time since his injury? Just kind of, how's everybody doing right now?
Datrick is fine. He was a little bit sore after the game, which was to be expected, but the 2 days off, and we had a walkthrough yesterday and was fine, so I anticipate he'll be a contributor this game. Colin's doubtful. I don't anticipate him being able to get back, and Ryan Huff is questionable, 50-50, whatever the term might be. He's questionable right now. We'll see how that goes. But Yeah.
As far as just your experience in the past, what have kind of been your times in conference championship games that have really kind of colored the way you think about them and the way you approach them now?
I think you can go all the way back to the time when I was a high school football player and we played teams twice in the state championship game. You can go back to Auburn in 2010. We played South Carolina twice in the same season. In 2014, we played at Boise State. We played Fresno twice in the same season. So, you draw back on those past experiences and you figure out, how you want to attack this opponent and what's the best way to go about it. There's all different kinds of styles. We just happen to have one that we believe in here.
As far as these two teams playing again, it's the fourth time in the last two seasons. And I know things have changed with the coaching staff and the way you guys play have changed. But is there, I guess, what are the difficulties in trying to break habits in the personnel matchups when guys have seen and lined up against the same guys?
I think the biggest thing is your players know, they understand what their matchup's going to be and they understand who they've gone against and how they've gone against them. As coaches, I think we have to do a good job of not trying to over-scheme the game and just let our players play and, try to find whatever advantages we might think we have in offense, defense, and special teams, but don't try to overdo it. We're not going to win this game from the press box. We're going to win it from on the football field, and players got to play, and that's what we'll do Saturday.
Kind of touched on it already, the familiarity with Louisiana. Does that put a little extra edge maybe with the kids? Is this kind of a rivalry that's forming?
Yeah, I think so. I saw somebody on Twitter ask me if we could have a champion, some sort of trophy between us and ULL. And I wanted to respond, yeah, it's the Sun Belt Championship trophy. Because that's what it's come down to. So, I think everybody understands what the game's about. It's about who's going to win the Sun Belt Championship, Conference Championship, and it's been a team that we played 4 times in 365 days. So, there's going to be some natural want to get it done.
And you kind of touched on their offense. You kind of talk about their defense a little bit. Has that changed as much as the offense for them? Or?
They're doing some things a little bit differently, creating some more front movement. They'll adjust from a 3-down front to a 4-down front to a bear front, so that he's got multiple there. They try to do it in a manner which would confuse the offensive line. Still pretty consistent in the back end, mixing in quarters coverage, cover 4, cover 3, and some version of what we call 6, which is a split zone coverage. So it's same style of stuff.
You guys have put up big numbers, but your offense the last time you played was longevity, I guess. You're able to crank out some long drives.
Mm-hmm.
You guys looking for that type of game? You looking for a?
I think every game takes on a nature of its own, and I'm trying not to have any type of preconceived ideas on what style of game this is going to be. Obviously, in Boone, you never know what the weather's going to be. You never know, what the score may indicate, what we have to do offensively. It may predicate that we need to try to score more based on being ahead. We may try to score less based on being behind. Whatever those factors may be. So we'll create a game plan on what we think we need to do offensively, first and second down, and third down situational football, what we think we need to do to be successful. But I'm not going to try to dictate the style of play. The game's going to play itself out.
Thank you.
Yep.
Coach, this is the second time you're playing Louisiana this season. Are there any major differences in how you're preparing for this game versus how you did earlier in the season, or is it just business as usual?
Well, last time I prepared for this game, I spent 6 nights in the hospital because my daughter was being born. So now I'm getting to sleep in my own bed, which maybe will create some new ideas and fresh opportunities for us. But we're not really looking at the last game all that much. I think each team we played week 5, and so there's been a lot of transition from those periods to where we're at now. So we're trying to create a new opportunity, a new game, and not really look back onto it that much, if that makes sense.
I think that's just one for me. I think you guys and Louisiana are 2 of 10 teams nationally that rank in the top 20 in both scoring offense and scoring defense. Obviously, that just says you're both complete teams. Does it say anything else that jumps out at you when teams are able to kind of be at both ends of that spectrum?
I mean, I think it's why our records are what they are. We're able to play on both sides of the ball at a high level, and we're both set up usually by our special teams. I thought when we played this game previously, I thought their special teams got after us and was a factor in creating negative field position for us, negative starting points. So I think, to go back to those stats, it just proves that both coaching staffs do a nice job. Their players are bought into what they're trying to do, and they're playing at a high level. I mean, for the Sun Belt to have 2 10-win teams playing in a championship game is a pretty neat opportunity for us as a conference.